Max Malone by Charlotte Herman, illustrated by B.B. Sams. Baseballs for sale. "Austin Healey is having his appendix out today," said Max. "Yeah, I heard about that," said Gordy. "He threw up all his popcorn last night. Too bad he has to miss Dusty Field on Friday." Max and Gordy were on their way to Toys for Less. They each had $2.50 to spend at the store's giant summer clearance sale. When they reached the store, they saw signs on all the windows. "Summer blowout. Prices slashed. 25 to 50% off selected items." "I hope we find some good stuff," said Max as they went inside. They walked past the first few counters, which displayed the inexpensive toys and prizes like the ones they'd bought for their carnival. They were looking for more expensive, quality items. Max hoped to find something worth $5 for half off. Then he would have enough money. He didn't have to look far. The idea hit him the moment he saw them. "That's it!" he cried out. "That's perfect!" "What's it? What's perfect?" asked Gordy. Max pointed to a box of rubber baseballs. A sign on the box read, "20 cents each." "Don't you see? We buy these baseballs for 20 cents each. Then we sell them at a higher price to people who want Dusty Field's autograph." "You're a genius," said Gordy, slapping Max on the back. "That's a great idea. All we have to do is figure out how many balls we can buy for our $5. He looked up at the ceiling and concentrated. "Let's see now. If each ball costs 20 cents and we have $5, I forget, do we divide or multiply?" "We divide," said Max, writing and erasing in the air. 20 cents into $5. Gordy was impressed. "How many can we buy, Max?" "Hold your horses. I have to move the decimals." Max continued writing, but he stopped suddenly in midair. "Wait, I have another idea. First, we have to see the manager." Max's eyes searched the store for someone who looked like a manager. He saw a young woman walking around giving orders to the workers. "That must be the manager," he said, walking toward her. Gordy followed, and a few minutes later, Max was asking, "Excuse me, but are you the manager?" "Yes," said the young woman. "Can I help you?" "I was wondering," said Max, "if we buy those rubber baseballs in quantity, how much will you sell them for?" The manager looked up at the ceiling the way Gordy had done. Max waited nervously. "How much do you want to spend?" she asked after a while. $5 including tax," he answered. "I'll tell you what. Summer's over, and I need the space more than I need the baseballs. For $5 including tax, you can have the whole box. There should be close to 50 balls in there." "50!" Max cried out. "It's a deal. 48 baseballs at 50 cents apiece. We'll really make a fortune." "Almost," said Max. 46, Gordy corrected. "We have to save 2 for ourselves." It was Friday morning, and Max and Gordy, each carrying a bag of baseballs, were on their way to the sporting goods store. It was only 9:30, and the store didn't open until 10. But they wanted to get there early so they wouldn't miss a single person. A long line of kids was already forming in front of the store. "Everyone wants to meet Dusty Field," said Max. "My father said his autograph might become valuable someday," said Gordy. "A real collectible." Some of the kids had come prepared with baseballs or mitts for autographing. Some had autograph books, and a few were holding scraps of paper. But most of them didn't have anything. Max was sure that lots of people would want the baseballs. Well, he was almost sure. He knew he should start selling right away, but he couldn't make himself move. His legs felt like spaghetti. Thinking about selling had been a lot easier than actually doing it. There were so many people. What if nobody wanted to buy any baseballs? What if he and Gordy got chased away by the store owner or the police? Rosalie had warned him about that. She said that he and Gordy needed a license to sell the baseballs. Max didn't know if she knew what she was talking about. He had heard of a dog license and a license to drive a car, but never a license to sell baseballs. "What are we waiting for?" asked Gordy. "You go first," said Max. "No, you first. It was your idea." "We'll go together," said Max. He dipped his hand into the bag and pulled out 2 baseballs. He forced himself to walk along the line of kids and call out, "Baseballs for sale, just 50 cents." He waved the balls around so everyone could see them. A few people glanced in Max's direction, but turned away. Gordy, in the meantime, was calling out, "Get your baseballs autographed by Dusty Field, just 50 cents. Sure to become a collectible." To his surprise, Max saw that a few kids actually went over to buy some balls from Gordy. Max then took up the call. "Get your baseballs autographed by Dusty, just 50 cents. Sure to become valuable." He didn't want to copy Gordy exactly. A girl with an autograph book came over to buy a ball. "A baseball is better than an autograph book," she said, handing him the money. A mother with a small boy came by. "I didn't even think to bring anything that Dusty could sign. This is such a good idea." Some kids with scraps of paper stuffed the papers into their pockets or dumped them into trash cans. Then they bought baseballs from Max. Max was having a great time. He could see that Gordy was, too. The scene was just as he had pictured. He was selling what people wanted to buy, and the more he sold, the more confident he became. He even began singing, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." The crowd in front of the store joined in. Suddenly, Max stopped singing. Someone inside the store, the manager probably, was standing at the door staring at Max. Max stared back and then looked away. This was it. He and Gordy would be asked to leave. He should have known it was too good to last. The manager opened the door and the kids pushed their way in. But the manager disappeared. He was nowhere in sight. Neither were the police. Max decided that if someone came and told him to stop, he would. But until then, he would keep on selling. He stopped customers before they went into the store. "Get your baseball for Dusty Field's autograph, 50 cents. Or, "How about a baseball for Dusty's autograph?" Most people were eager to buy. Dusty was going to be signing autographs until noon, but by 11, Max and Gordy had sold all their baseballs, all except the 2 they had saved for themselves. "I can't believe it," said Max when he and Gordy were waiting in line to meet Dusty. "We sold them all. I thought our goose was cooked when I saw the manager staring at me." Max's mother always used that expression, "My goose was cooked," even though she had never cooked a goose in her life. "I can't believe we're getting Dusty's autograph," said Gordy. "I wish the line would move faster. Dusty's hand will get all worn out from shaking hands before he even gets to us." At last, it was Max and Gordy's turn to meet Dusty. Dusty was tall and thin and had a friendly smile. He wasn't wearing a uniform, just jeans and a T-shirt, but he looked like a ball player anyway. Max and Dusty shook hands. Dusty said, "Nice to meet you." But Max couldn't think of anything to say except, "Would you sign this ball to Max?" "Sure thing," said Dusty, and he signed the ball. "To my pal Max, Dusty Field." "Wow! Thanks, Dusty." Gordy couldn't think of anything great to say either, so he handed Dusty his baseball and said, "I'm Gordy." Dusty signed, "To my pal Gordy, Dusty Field." "Wow!" said Gordy. "This was a great day," said Max. "Let's go home and split up the money," said Gordy. "We made a ton," said Max, "and all because we knew the market. We went where the people were, and we bought in quantity, just like Austin." Austin. Max had forgotten all about him. Little Austin Healy, who was home with a scar where his appendix should have been. Austin, who was looking forward to meeting Dusty Field. Why, if it weren't for Austin, Max would never have known about Dusty. He and Gordy would never have bought the balls. They never would have made all that money. "We can't go home yet," said Max. "There's something we have to do first." He led the way to the baseball section of the store. and there in a bin were baseballs, real league baseballs. They cost $3, but Max didn't care. He picked one up and showed it to Gordy. "For Austin," he said. "We'll get it autographed by Dusty," said Gordy. They bought the ball and waited in line again. "Let's see," said Gordy, looking up at the ceiling. "Not counting what we spent on Austin, if we sold 46 balls at 50 cents each, this time we multiply," said Max. Max makes $1 million. "How nice of you to come," said Austin Healy's mother. "Austin will be so happy to see you. He's been feeling a little low today. He had to miss Dusty Field." "Maybe we can cheer him up," said Max. He thought of the baseball he had for Austin in his bag and smiled as he went inside. They found Austin in his room feeding Newton some freeze-dried shrimp. Austin was wearing sweatpants and a Mickey Mouse sweatshirt. "Hey, guys, I was thinking about you all day. Did you get to see Dusty?" "We just came from there," said Max. "How are you feeling?" "Okay. Do you want to see my scar?" Max and Gordy shook their heads. "No, thanks," said Max. Austin fed Newton the last of the shrimp and climbed into bed. "I'm supposed to rest up for a few days, and I'm not supposed to laugh. So don't say anything funny. Just tell me about Dusty." "The place was mobbed," said Max. "Everyone wanted to see him." "I wanted to see him," said Austin. "Yeah, that was too bad. Anyway, we got to shake his hand." "Wow," said Austin. "I wanted to shake his hand." "That's rough," said Max. "And we got his autograph, too," Gordy added. "Wow, that's what I really wanted most, his autograph." "Really rough," said Max, shaking his head. "I might never get another chance to meet Dusty," said Austin, looking glum. "You might not," said Max. "I might have to wait forever to get his autograph." Now Austin was looking even more glum. "I don't think you'll have to wait that long," Max told him. He turned to Gordy and winked. Then he reached into the bag and took out Austin's baseball. "From Dusty," he said, handing him the ball. "For me?" asked Austin, turning the ball around so he could read the autograph. "To my pal Austin, Dusty Field." "Oh, boy, this is great! This is the greatest!" Austin was so excited he practically jumped out of bed. "Watch out for your stitches," said Max. Austin turned to Max and Gordy and flashed them a smile, the widest smile they had ever seen on Austin's face. "Thanks, guys. Thanks $1 million." "$1 million? Did you hear that, Gordy?" asked Max, slapping him on the back. "We made our $1 million after all."